Hi again, everybody. Moms, dads, boys, girls, lads, lasses, Mr. and Mrs. America, all ships at sea. Tom Frederick, Matt Witwicky, you're a co-host of the NSIC weekly podcast coming your way from D2Football.com. Hello there, big boy. You're happy as a lark that those Cubbies made the postseason. Thus the hat tonight.
The Bears win yesterday, 2 in a row. Just thought I'd put that out there, considering the division they're playing in. Those ones are going to be hard to come by. And Cubs start playoffs, like tomorrow or something? How's your baseball team doing, by the way?
They fired their manager.
Sounds like a swell start to the offseason.
Well, they had to do something, and, it flows downhill. So he took the fall for a 70-92 season.
I saw them, about 5-6 weeks ago. I made a trip to Minneapolis, and that is a miserable baseball team you have there. They were horrible. Errors everywhere, and they made up for it by not hitting. So, well, my friend, let's go ahead and see a little bit of what we've been doing since people last saw us. Apparently, you felt the need to go ahead and take a picture of a sign in the middle of your trip just so you could document your travels, kind of like a person who takes a picture at the gym of themselves. But, tell me a little bit about your trip around the city and so forth. Your knee must be doing better.
Well, the arthritic knee feels best when I'm exercising on a bike. Let's put it that way. When's the last time you've been to the falls?
Took my kids there. I'm going to say
2019.
Yeah, before COVID for sure. I live in the city. I'm not a tourist. Why do I need to go there?
Because it's a nice area. So I biked down to the falls and I biked home again today, a little over 14 miles. It was a beautiful day, although record-setting high temps in the 90s here. Didn't feel like fall, that's for sure.
No, I was hanging out with my fearless leader here at the condo, and he got neutered earlier in the week.
Ouch!
Yep, and he's been doing good with the pain medicine and everything else, and apparently it's supposed to take a little of his energy out of him. That'd be just terrible, but we'll see. He's quite the trooper, and there he is following instructions very well on me waiting for him to go to the bathroom outside, and 10 minutes later we're still having that conversation. So that's how that goes.
Speaking of that, you live in a condo, so you have a homeowners association.
Yes.
Who picks up after Willie?
Well, it's funny you mention. I have an agreement with my 15-year-old where he does it once a month. He gets paid for it. That's right. And then when we get closer towards, the winter time, we feel like that becomes a part of the fertilizer. And then the cold weather, we probably don't need to go ahead and do that at some point.
Once a month? You got heaping piles of that stuff all around your yard or what?
Well, we haven't taught him how to go to the toilet inside yet. So he does have plenty of poop outside. Yes.
I would figure maybe once a week, not once a month.
Well, he goes twice a day, my friend.
I know that's 60 rounds that your son's got to pick up. If he does it once a week, it's a little bit easier.
No. He's getting paid. It's just fine. Don't worry.
Okay.
We pick a nice summer day for him to go do that.
I didn't think we'd start out like this today.
Hey, you took this path, not me, my friend.
Yep, you're right. The path we took, Matt, I got to tell you, on the way to Mankato on Saturday, the buses stopped in Windham. Coach Glow had ordered, I don't know, well over 100 breakfast burritos for his team. So we stopped at a convenience store parking lot. Those breakfast burritos were picked up from a local grocery store. They brought them in.
I've been to Windham.
Yep. What's that?
I've been to Windham. I know it.
Yeah, we had about 20 minutes to stretch our legs and whatnot. So I went into this convenience store, and I'm walking down the aisle looking for, something sweet to eat a little bit later on in the journey.
That a boy. Yep.
And this woman wearing Mankato garb, I'm thinking she had to be the mom of a player. She had a young man with her too. But when they walk by me, they go, "Hey, that's the guy we just saw on the podcast." And I don't know. I wasn't making any dated references or anything like that, so I don't know how she picked me out of a crowd unless it was my flowing locks.
Did they speak to you at all, or did they just make a reference from 2 aisles over?
No, they were right there. We passed like this, 2 ships in the night, so she knew that I heard, but we didn't exchange pleasantries or anything like that.
You didn't say hello or anything of that sort?
No, you know me, I'm standoffish. Us celebrities are that way.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway, well, Tom, did you have a chance to see the news that came out this week from Mankato? Kind of
No,
big news here.
I live under a rock. No, I
Well,
didn't hear about it.
guys taking pictures of the Sioux Falls sign. So, I mean, I'm just saying. But so for those who didn't get a chance to see, Mankato has got a $60 million stadium complex plan, and you can see kind of a quick little shot of it there. We're going to go ahead and get what I consider a little bit more interesting image here. Tom, this is kind of in the same way you would normally pull up from to the stadium. I believe that's what, south to north on the main drag there, and on the right side you will then be kind of, the first thing you're going to see is the stadium itself, where it's going to say home of the Mavericks and everything on the right side there. Pretty nice looking new stadium that's going to be up for them to play in I believe it's 2029.
Yep.
And then they're also going to have there's going to be a whole lot of parking lot getting rid of by the looks of this. I'm assuming there's going to be more to that, but this is not in the shot. But on the far right, you can see they're going to have a track. Then straight ahead in the shot on the far side, you can see a softball field over there. Then over to the left side, I know they have a few different things cooking up, community type stuff. But really, really, really impressive setup for 2029. What were kind of some of your thoughts in looking at this?
Overdue
Yes.
for sure. 2029 is when they expect to have this up and running. It's going to be artificial turf, Matt. I'm sad to hear that. You know that, but
yeah, that's kind of a weird deal in itself, right? Because I mean, a part of the charm of Blakesley, and when I heard somebody say something like, one of the things they really like about Blakesley, there's not a one of the many things. That's the only thing.
The grass field. Yep.
Let's not confuse up with a list of things. Having trouble walking down the stairs without falling. That's not a thing I like. But no handrails. I can make a list.
The handrails are there now. There are handrails.
Oh, is that right? Okay, it's 2025. So, but as we're taking a look here, though, Tom, let's kind of segue into. They took a few cues from a few different stadiums here. You can see that second level that looks exactly like what USF has. That overhang second level. Do you see what I'm talking about there in the shot?
Yep.
Which I think is a great idea. You have the kind of that open pavilion type area. Then the seating itself looks great in that low level, right on top of the action. There is no there's no track, which for me, I think you make things really much more intimate when you do it this way. The visitor side looks nice as well in the way they've built that on in. I thought that was really nicely done. That reminds me almost a little bit of what you would see at like South Dakota State, something like that. Now this only is going to fit 6,500, which there's a few things to unpack with that. And to keep in mind at the berm, you could on the far side in the top right of the shot, I think it's probably somewhere like an Augustana where you could probably fit in another 5,000, 500 to 1,000 right there. But it's the identical size for capacity as Augustana, which is 6,500 as well. I think this is geared towards we are staying Division II, because if you had thoughts of doing something at a higher level, you would have a higher capacity. And at the same time, how many times are you really going to need more than 6,500, 7,000 spots for butts and seats. I think it's just fine sizing. What are your thoughts when you look at this now, armed with all that info?
Yeah, the press box really reminds me of what Dakota Bank Stadium in Aberdeen
Sure.
looks like.
Yeah.
And yeah, 6,500, it'll be fine for the Mavs. Add another maybe 1,000 with the berm. They had 6,900 there on Saturday.
Right.
When they use this as a community venue for concerts and whatnot, of course, you're going to be able to have seating on the floor on the field. So
Yes.
they're expecting about 12,000 for venue of that type when you've got concerts and whatnot in there. I think it's an adequate sized facility for a school of this size.
Yeah, so I mean, we're looking at, once again, the Mavs will be playing games here in 2029. In 2028, that soccer, that open track area almost look like a soccer field at the same time. They are going to, apparently, that's going to be makeshift 3,000 seats, portable bleacher type thing, I guess, in that area for the 2028 season before they get into this. So that would tell me the Mavs are playing at Blakesley through 2027. So Tom, I don't know how many more trips you're going to make there. Maybe only one.
Yeah, we've been there, I think, two years in a row. Maybe 27 we go back. I don't know if I'll still be doing this Witt in 2029 when this new facility is up and running. Who knows?
Well,
Only
if
the
you're
good
not,
old-
if
only
you're
the
not,
good
then you'll
old.
make a trip with me then.
All righty.
So, we felt we needed to kind of unpack that. That was some pretty big news that occurred this week, and then we go ahead and we move on into Isaac Odom, superstar for UMD, won 2 national titles there, 2008 and 2010. I still have people from down in Maryville who kind of talk about what a superstar he was back then because of the fact that they were able to beat Northwest during a run there. So, what a ball player, and had some time with the Chargers in the NFL, but they honored him in their Hall of Fame. Duluth did this last weekend as they went ahead, Tom, and that kind of leads us into our first contest right here.
Yeah, UMD made life a bit miserable for Dragon quarterback Jack Strand. They picked him off 3 times, including one for a score, and the Bulldogs, top 10 ranked, remain unblemished.
Well, let's go ahead and watch a little bit, Tom, of the video here, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll get a chance to see. We're even going to talk about special teams, Tom, for a brief moment, but you'll see that momentarily. I know normally we kind of stray away from that on this show. We stick to football, but we're going to go ahead with Mr. Waljasper first. Deshaun Ames, I haven't heard his name much this year. He's been out. I believe he had a hammy for much of the year. Morehead's up early, double tip ball that goes for a pick 6, almost the length of the field. Tom, look at Strand, though. I tell you, I commend him for that effort. I'm gassed watching that. But kind of flipped the game a little bit, and then we've got Drew Henson bombs one in from 52. That's kind of a weapon. Then, once again, Morehead's in this football game. Ryder Patterson goes ahead. Nice move there and block to go with it. And Strand getting pressured. Mr. McQueen with the interception there. And then we know how this one ends when it comes to Waljasper taking that direct snap, going in to score. Tom, this was a 14-13 Morehead game, mid to late third quarter, and then UMD just kind of took over from there. But Brock Unger with that long 82-yard pick 6, I thought really swung the momentum, Tom, because Morehead was at the 25-yard line of UMD up 7-0, marching in. And it kind of felt like that just put the brakes on them right then and there. Otherwise, UMD did not score a touchdown in the first half offensively. So if you would have told me that was going to be the case, I would not have expected Morehead was going to slow them down to that extent. So Morehead played a decent game. UMD just a little bit too much in the end.
They limit Waljasper to 3+ yards a carry. That's a day's work defensively by the Dragons.
Yes,
Wow.
no doubt about it.
Man, oh man. Hey, history was made in the Twin Cities. Jamestown got its first NSIC victory ever, and it wasn't even close.
You know what? We're just going to go right into the video on this with Cole Henches, a quarterback for Jamestown, and what they were able to do in this contest. We're going to play the highlights right here. Here they are lining up to do a tush push, and got to rearrange ourselves apparently in order to do that. But almost like a delayed tush push where the running back goes ahead and gives you a little extra effort. And Jamestown's up early in this one. A winless team, they were unable to convert the extra point, which are things that happen at this point when you're in that situation of being winless. But you know what? They kept the hammer down, and you go ahead and you see here they're moving the ball through the air. And Cole Henges, I thought, did a nice job in this game. Almost 200 yards passing. And in addition to that, and it looks like we may end up seeing that play twice here. We have a little bit of a delay going, but he had over 100 yards on the ground, Tom, as well, and 3 scores on the ground by the quarterback along the way. And you go ahead and see here a 4th down play, Tom. Second quarter just started off, and he's going to take it wide. Going to have a little bit of a collision here, but he gets on in, and Jamestown's kind of off to a 2-score lead at this point. I was kind of flipping back and forth a little bit on this because I was curious about how they were doing. And then we go ahead and we see Erastus Encino here when he gets loose on this one here for a long touchdown. And all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, what's happening here? Because they're off and running in this one. And, you go ahead and you're just thinking, okay, is Concordia ever going to kind of get off the mat? And they did here to bring it within 20-10 at halftime. And I thought, okay, this is where Jamestown's all set up for a letdown, after having a big lead, 2-score lead. But Henches scores again, and they go up, in this case, by 16, didn't get the extra point. And I'm thinking, okay, the last gasp where Concordia's got to go ahead and make a run here. And they overshoot on the pass, and we have got ourselves a pick 6 going the other direction. And this is going to be the ball game. Too much to overcome, 33-10 at that point. And, kudos, to Coach Mistro and his group for going ahead and getting the win here. We thought there was a chance that they may not win a ball game this year, and they won this one, Tom, in pretty convincing fashion.
Speak for yourself. My preseason picks had them winning at least once or twice.
The guy's winning with the pick 'em, and all of a sudden he gets chippy on all his other picks. I see how this is going to be. Let's move on to our next game. There's some more fun to unpack here. I'll let you put it on the tee for us.
Yeah, the battle of winless Beavers in this one. Minot wins it despite getting outgained. Take a look at the chart there by more than 100 yards. But Minot pulls it out in the end at home.
Minot ends up being +3, I believe it was, in turnovers in this one. They were up 21-7, Tom, at half, and Bemidji made a run in the second half, which hasn't really been their thing this year. And you're going to go ahead and we're going to play the broadcast, a few plays from that last 90 seconds of action in the football game. We're going to join it with 21 all, Tom, and we're going to let the announcers from Minot go ahead and paint a picture for us. And we will come on back and talk about it here in a moment. Apparently, we're going to not show that. We're going to go back to UMD. Now let's go ahead. Boy, I tell you, we're going to need to get a producer for this show. Let's go with Minot.
Starting at the 45-yard line. They're 20 yards away from field. Starting at the 45-yard line. They're 20 yards away from field goal range right now.
Yeah, you're one big play away. Still 1:55 to go. The good news is both teams have 3 timeouts.
On first down, McCanage. Quick hit. Oh! Picked off. Going the other way. Nalu Cordero. Welcome back to the lineup.
Oh, my goodness. Just when it seems like it's dark here at Herb Parker Stadium, the defense brings the light. Owen, how about that read? The pick 6 we talked about.
Left of Bart McCanage. He'll throw over the middle. It's Lehman with space. Lehman across the 45. Lehman's still going. 30 to the 20. And they marked him out of bounds earlier. Now a flag for a late hit. He was first down and goal from the 6. McCanage, the quarterback. He's going to throw to the pylon. Intercepted again. Beavers on the return down the sideline.
He's going to
got an convoy.
He might go. Owen, what's going on in Minot State?
Nalu Cordero. 100 this time.
Flag on the play. We got laundry. Owen. Hold the phone.
That was exhausting. So we got a chance to see there Nalu Cordero. 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. The last one ended up not being a pick 6. They had a block in the back or holding or whatever it was on the run back, but they ended up running out the clock right after that. But I was watching that game, catching up with it while I was eating my lunch today, and I said, you know what? That is too much energy for us not to go ahead and let everyone get a chance to catch some of that. So congratulations to Minot State and Coach Shields on the win. I can only imagine Coach Bolte standing on the sideline right in front of him with those 2 interceptions as they happened in real time. That would have been brutal. But so what do you think?
Matt, it's better than being a flatliner. You don't want anybody who is strictly monotone.
Nope.
You have an engineer there watching your controls a little bit, your monitor, so you don't peg the meter, if you know what I mean.
I jumped out of my chair when I watched that the first time around. But congratulations to Minot. They go ahead and get to the pay window, and we move on to Winona State, Augustana.
And the Vikings, the defending league champs, remain unbeaten. They held on for a homecoming victory. This contest featured, if my math is correct, 900 yards of total offense. Wow.
Yeah, it was a weird game, Tom. Augie was kind of sluggish early. Then in the middle 2 quarters, they blew this game wide open. And I thought it was going to be a complete blowout. They were up 2 scores with 8 minutes left or whatever it was. And then all of a sudden, they're trying to finish out the football game and kind of have a rash of injuries that occur. Their tight end Clayton Sattler, who has been a superstar for them, he's got 5 touchdowns this year, 4 of them in the last 2 weeks. Big 6'6" target. He goes down. Looks like he's in a bad way. He eventually gets taken off the field. And then shortly thereafter, I think it was Gunnar Hensley goes ahead and does it look like a design quarterback run, gets some nice yards, I don't know, 10 yards maybe. And when he goes to slide, gets his foot caught under him, and it becomes one of those clumsy kind of things where we land funny. And his foot looked like it got caught under him, and he had to be helped off and couldn't put any weight on it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, what is happening here for Augustana? Because they had their running back, Ryan Kenny, got dinged up earlier and had to come off. And then they had a lineman right in that same window of time. I'm sure Coach OJ was looking at this like, we need to just finish this football game. So I don't know to the extent of these injuries, Tom, but man, it was kind of like they get to 5-0. They were the better team on this day. I mean, you can see over 500 yards offense. Gunnar Hensley was 29 of 34 for over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran for 30 yards. But I'm concerned for Augustana if all of a sudden it was one of those, we end up coming out ahead in this one, but we have some huge effects that may affect their season going forward.
So I heard you correctly. He went into a slide. There was no contact from a defender, but he went into a slide and his foot got caught in the turf.
Yeah, there was a defender coming from, I think, the sideline area. And he kind of got down at the same time. I don't know if he actually I don't think he got touched. Maybe I'm mistaken. But that was not what happened, at least when I was watching it. But, he has been, we have some quarterbacks in this league. Gunnar Hensley, we've got Wall Jasper, we've got Jack Strand, we've got Cam Dean. And Gunnar Hensley, passing wise, I think has probably been the top one, right next to. I think you could actually put ahead of Strand because he does not have an interception this year.
Yeah,
and he's got big yards.
Yep.
So Strand's kind of his interception numbers are starting to creep up. So if he's unable to go this week or future weeks, that's a massive blow to Augustana at that point. And Tom, I do want to point out, we had somebody on our message forum, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of move ahead to this for just one brief second, and then I'll come on back. We have a guy that is on our message forum on our d2football.com website, Augie Hollick, and he's normally a bit of a handful, but he mentions here, and I totally agree with him. If somehow this is Gunnar's last game of the season, I mean, take a look at what he's done this year, and in terms of numbers to year to date, without much of a running game. So this is hoping that we get a chance to see one of the top players in the NSIC back this season, whether it's this week or in the weeks that follow. But pretty tough break, in my opinion, right there, Tom.
He is a junior, so he does have another year of eligibility. And this was game 5. He's probably played too much this season to file for a medical red shirt if it would come to that.
I had that same thought, and let's hope that all the others who have who went down in this game also that's not something that's ongoing and long term. So, but Augustana comes out with the win, 5-0 yet, but we'll have to see at what price at that point.
Top 15 ranked too.
Absolutely.
Wayne State celebrated homecoming too in a big way. 6 takeaways. And if you take a look at Witt's fine graphic there, less than 100 yards of offense allowed by that Wayne State Tiger defense.
0 for 16 on third down, Tom.
Yep.
That's a miserable day offensively. This game was 30-something to nothing in the first half, and I was thinking, oh boy. We were kind of hoping that, Southwest taking a positive step forward when that win over Jamestown, but this does not move that direction for sure. Wayne State, 6 sacks, negative 42 yards, 4 picks, 2 fumble, recoveries. So Wayne State is quietly, Tom, moved back up. They're at 3-2 at this point, and they do have their hardest games up ahead of them. But they're in a good way right now. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. Very impressive. Northern State, speaking of impressive.
Yes.
Wolves have won 3 in a row. They put to rest that Mary Jinx emphatically.
Yeah, this was one that we had talked about last week, Tom, where there was a bit of a concern that, playing that game, that could be a tough one because they didn't have a good history with Mary. But you know what? 552 yards later, they were the Daniel Britt is playing some quarterback. He ended up throwing 5 passes, but ran plenty here. They're mixing the 2 quarterbacks, I think, pretty well. So they're doing a nice job offensively. We're not used to this Northern State team kind of being looked at as offensively explosive. We haven't had to say that in a while, and they're clearly that right now. So I think that they're one of those teams that teams are not going to want to have to play going forward, and they've got a lot of their tougher games left as well, Tom. So
they're number 1 in the league in total offense, Matt. Did you see that?
yes, that was going to be one of the questions on Jeopardy tonight.
Oh.
But you know what? You let the cat out of the bag, so we'll have to stay with the tougher ones and get the easy ones out of the way then.
All righty. This one was close for a half. Minnesota State up 10-6 at the break. USF turned it over on the first play of the third quarter, and the Mavericks never took their foot off the gas after that. Maximus Sims and Trayshawn Watson, man, they played pitch and catch all afternoon.
Yeah, you know what? Trayshawn right now is actually leading all of Division II in receiving yards. He's over 600 yards so far this season, which is tops in the country. You know who's number 2, Tom? A guy that you saw week 0.
Oh, the guy from Chakwera from Black Hills State.
He's second, and he's got 9 touchdowns. But in any event, I wanted to give Trayshawn, some kudos there because he is having – this is not – in the past years, he's had a big game, and then he's had, 2 catches, 30 yards. He has really been consistent this year. And, I mean, it shows right there, another 149 yards, 11 catches. I thought, Tom, he caught a 40-yard pass on 3rd and 18 fairly early in this football game that I thought was big at that moment. He got loose down the sideline and didn't score, but, I mean, went for a real big play. And this Mavs team – I thought they were very explosive offensively in this contest with Max Sims getting loose a few times rushing. I thought Max Sims this is the best day I've seen him as a passer.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was Marcus Hansen has had a quiet year so far for Mankato, and he had a big sack in this game. Kind of chased down Cam Dean, and not a lot of guys who do that. And if Marcus Hansen gets cooking, that's only going to make this team all the better. But, Tom, 10-6 at halftime. This was a close game at half. Then USF's offense really sputtered in the second half. And at the same time, Mankato just really got cooking.
Yeah, put the hammer down. And Sims could have had an even bigger day. He had Watson deep down the field once, overshot him. He had another wide receiver open on a post. I think it was Gilmore, and overshot him. A couple of touchdowns that never happened.
I recall that. We're going to catch a quick little thing of Todd Hoffner post-game talking about the contest, and we'll be right back.
Proud of the 2 young men next to me and their teammates. I thought the players played hearts out. That Sioux Falls was up 6-0 after the first frame. I thought it was huge for us to come back, to fight back, to battle. 4th largest crowd in school history is nothing short of amazing. We're really proud of the fans and everybody that came out. Really happy with where we're at today, right? I think Sioux Falls is a tremendous football team. I think Coach Glow does a great job. I think that offensively, to hold that offense to 6 points for 57-some minutes, nothing short of amazing. So Coach T's been doing a great job of keeping people off the scoreboard, right? So that's been really impressive, and I think we found a little bit of a groove today with our offense and Maximus leading the charge.
Yeah, very impressive win for Mankato there, taking care of business. I'm not sure, Tom, what that means for the Cougars at this point in time. 2 pretty one-sided losses in the overall scheme of things against 2 of the top teams in the conference. And, some injuries have crept up with them on the defensive side. We kind of referred to it earlier. And, with them having now, about 5 guys on defense, I want to say it is, linebackers and DNs and such. USF has to kind of put Humpty Dumpty back together a little bit right now.
Any team, Witt, if they lose 5 guys defensively from your starting lineup from week 1 to now, they're going to be hurting. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you. It's a case of next man up. So all coaches are fully aware of the situation going
Yeah,
into the
very
season.
much.
Yep. Hey, okay. From the home office in beautiful downtown Burnsville, Minnesota, here are the players of the week for competition on Saturday, September 27th. We'll start with the young man we just saw there sitting next to Coach Hoffner, Maximus Sims. He is the redshirt freshman out of St. Paul. He guided the Mavericks to that comfortable homecoming win, 24 of 32, 310 yards and a touchdown. He could have had a couple more. And he rushed for better than 50 yards and 2 more touchdowns. I didn't realize he had the eye black going like he did in that video with Coach Hoffner. It was in his eye, not just under his eye, but covering it. He looked like a wrestler that you might follow in the WWE or the AEW with. Okay.
Wow.
Moving right on. We go to special teams. We saw the video of Drew Henson earlier. He's the special teamer of the week, the kicker for UMD. He's a sophomore from Owatonna, Minnesota. He had 2 PATs, 2 field goals, including that long 52-yarder, and to boot, 4 punts, averaging 39.5 yards as UMD remained unbeaten and top 10 ranked in the D2Football.com poll. And we also saw the guy in the middle here on video from Minot State, Nalu Cordero, Honolulu, Hawaii sophomore. He had 2 fourth-quarter interceptions. One of them, he went half the length of the field for a touchdown that counted. The other one got negated by penalty. Those two, that one pick six broke the tie, gave the Beavers of Minot the 28-21 lead, and then the second interception sealed the deal. So Maximus Sims, Nalu Cordero, and Drew Henson, the NSIC Players of the Week for September 27th competition.
Let me ask you, buddy, here's the standings. What are some of your takeaways when kind of looking at what we have in front of us at this point?
Well, you've got Duluth, perfect on the season and perfect in the conference. The only unbeaten team in the North. Northern State breathing down the Bulldogs' neck. And I believe they'll be hosting Minnesota Duluth a little bit later on in the season. That would be a game I wouldn't mind being a little fly on the wall to watch.
No
Augustana,
doubt.
the lone unbeaten in the South. But as you indicated, they may have some injury issues. Minnesota State breathing down the Vikings' neck at 4-1. I haven't heard of any injuries for Minnesota State at this point. They look like they're clicking on all cylinders. If
Right.
Augustana can negotiate a few weeks here to see if they have to bring backups in, get them some game reps and whatnot up to speed, that Augie Minnesota State game later in the season might be something to look forward to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we talk about Augustana, for example, they have the key to the city game. We'll be talking about that here tonight. But after that, I mean, they got Concordia, they've got Southwest in consecutive weeks. Concordia is not playing good football at the moment, and Southwest isn't either. So you would like to think if Augustana does have some lingering injuries that would be a time, and no matter the outcome of the Sioux Falls game, at worst, if they didn't win that, they have 1 loss, which still has you completely in the playoff hunt. But, they're a 5-0 team. Sioux Falls is reeling right now at 3-2. So that's by no means something that's definitive either. So after about at the end of September, this is kind of where we stand right now. Not sure there's any huge surprises per se, other than Bemidji being 0-5 and 0-4 in the conference. I think that's the one shocker kind of for everybody.
No doubt about that. Nobody saw that coming. They were picked to finish in the top 5 in the league by the coaches back in August, for crying out loud.
Yep. I had them 5th myself, but you know what? I thought they were going to take a step back. I didn't think that they would take 2 big steps back like they have. But you know what? Every program goes through it at some point, whether it's a year, whether it's 2 years, and that's just their moment at this time. So
Oh, your top 25, you released it yesterday, or actually this morning, Witt. And
Yes.
not a lot of change at the top, I don't believe. But and again, of the top 25, half a dozen or more stubbed their toe.
Yeah, we didn't have too many losses this week, but you have Duluth and Mankato. Mankato got a bump up to 10. I think we had them 12 or 13 before, somewhere in that neighborhood. And Augustana kind of sits at 13. I think Augustana is going to need to, notch some wins over, some higher ranked teams. Right now, their best win is probably over Missouri Western, who has got a losing record in the MIAA at this point. So they're going to have to notch some wins, kind of next level to kind of move into that top 10, I would guess. But Duluth and Mankato and Augie, those are three teams in the top 13 right there. And then as you move on down, something we'll be talking about tomorrow night, we will have Coach Mack from Northwest Missouri State on the show, Tom, on the MIAA Weekly, because of the fact that Northwest thumped UCO, University of Central Oklahoma, on Saturday, and they are now in the top 25. So they kind of went from being one of those teams that we hadn't talked about in a while to being one of those, household names that's back in the mix.
Yeah, Mankato thumped them, if we all remember correctly, week 0. What was it, 38-14?
Right, and they've recovered nicely since then, got a chance to kind of develop that offense, and the defense is really playing good football.
All righty. Time now for our weekly shout-out. Bosses Pizza and Chicken, the exclusive sponsor for this shindig, this hullabaloo, this hootenanny we call the NSIC Weekly Podcast.
Whatever this is, we do, yes. Once again, for those tuning on in, whether you want some pizza, whether you want some beer, whether you want even some chicken, some pasta, Boss's Pizza and Chicken, a great option for you if you have any interest in opening up your own franchise. They want us to get the word out about that. They're looking to grow the business. So you can go right to their website for more information about that. But Tom, before we move on, Boss's Bundle and Save deals. Now, Tom, if you were going to go ahead and kind of bundle two items together, you've got pasta, you've got fried chicken, you've got wings. How would you do a bundle like that, and what kind of pizza would you get?
Now, I've been to Boss's, and they have the boneless tenders.
That's right.
I would go with that for one.
Yeah, that's sneaky good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, boneless tenders and a thin, if it's just me now, a thin, small pepperoni.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to overeat. I got the tenders and the pizza.
Well, there's nothing wrong with overeating. That's let's not. We're not. This isn't a fitness show, so we can go ahead and have Italian sausage on there, maybe extra cheese, just to make it really hit. And I'll tell you right now, the fried chicken sounds just fine to me with that. Maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit of hot sauce with that, just to give a little kick. You much of a hot sauce guy, Tom, or not?
Mild, real mild.
Fair enough. Well, moving on from that, something I still can't wrap my head around. I'll let you talk about this.
No differences of opinion for us last week. We picked all 7 games identical. Where we stubbed our toe, neither one of us had Jamestown beating Concordia. Otherwise, we were spot on. Still, I'm not going to toot my own horn here. I'm not going to brag.
I would.
I'm not going to puff up my chest because it's a long, long way to the end of the season. But I do have a 2-game advantage at this point.
Yeah. Minot State, I keep coming back to you guys. I mean, but you know what? You got a win last week, and I counted on you, and that was good. We'll have to see how things go from here. But
All right.
I don't know if we're going to have that many differences this week, buddy. this isn't exactly the most captivating list of games
I
that
got the
we've
pen
had.
to make sure that it's accurate. You ready? Here we go. UMD hosts
Ooh.
Southwest Minnesota State in the Lone Cross divisional matchup this weekend. Has there ever been a more prohibitive favorite than the Bulldogs? Methinks not. Minnesota
Mav-
Duluth comfortably, Witt.
the Mavs playing Jamestown a few weeks ago comes to mind, but um,
No, not like this one.
if UMD was UMD minus 50, would you take them to cover?
Yes.
They have a way, and we've talked about this before. They have a way of not just beating the teams they're supposed to, but when they're supposed to win those games, they win them in convincing fashion. I think I would go and take that number, and I think Duluth rolls here. I don't know if Wall Jasper plays a ton in this game, but maybe they go ahead and give some other guys some reps. He's got a lot of hard miles on him already this season. Something to think about. How do you see this next one here, buddy? We got another nail biter.
This Gopher State matchup? No, comfortably, Mankato. Comfortably.
I tell you, the one thing I was a little discouraged about when watching Concordia, they were giving up some of those runs there at the goal, and they were getting beat at the line of scrimmage. And I'm surprised that Jamestown was doing that to a Concordia team who typically prides themselves on being pretty physical on that D line. So doesn't bode well. I'll take Mankato. We'll just leave it at that.
Mary is at Jamestown.
Ooh.
You're going to pick this one first.
You know what? I don't know how many quarterbacks Mary has used at this point. Every time I go to create a box score thing for them, it seems like it's somebody different. I know that they've had injuries and so forth, but they've been more productive as an offense than not. And I think their defense is better than maybe we think they are. I mean, I realize Northern just blew the doors off them at their place. I'm having trouble taking the Jimmies to win 2 in a row, even though Cole Henches looked great and they did a nice job this last game. I'm still going to take Mary in this in-state rivalry. How are you going, my friend?
Well, I hope that Jimmy's victory last Saturday has not gone to their head, because I got them this week. Our first parting of the ways here.
Coach Mistro will be hitting me up on my text message before the end of the show, congratulating you and on believing in them and me being a non-believer or something along those lines. Boy, last few years, this would have been a humdinger, huh?
Yeah, but Bemidji's still looking for its first win this year. Bemidji is at home.
I think this is homecoming for them.
Okay. Well, come Saturday night, they're still going to be.
Pick, Eddie?
They're still going to be searching for that elusive first win. Northern.
Man, this feels like a trap game for Northern in a massive way. Bemidji has been a problem for them for years now. They kind of got the monkey off their back last year by winning at Northern. But, man, that's been a team that they have struggled with. However, Northern just seems to have their trajectory is really good right now. I have to take Northern here. Bemidji isn't giving me much to believe in at this very moment. I'm waiting. One of these weeks, Tom, Bemidji's going to snap out of this and get somebody, and then we're not going to know what to make of them from there on going forward. But I'm taking Northern this week.
Morehead is going to host Minot in a game that features polar opposite offenses. I'm looking for the Dragons to end their 2-game slide at home.
Oh, I've struggled with this one because I saw the way Morehead did against the Veer in the opening week of the season, where they got gashed by Northern Michigan. So that gives me a fear of what Minot might be able to do. But okay, Minot, I'm sorry, I'm going with Morehead here and Jack Strand. I got a feeling that this could be a Minot game here, but I'm taking Jack Strand and company. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is one to keep your eye on. I really think so.
13th edition of the Key to the City contest at USF's Bob Young Field. Cougars hope to end two-game losing streaks here, Witt. The last 2 weeks and the last 2 years against Augie. Both teams, as we've talked about, bit by injuries. But I've announced 318 consecutive University of Sioux Falls football games, and you expect me to pick against the Cougars? Think again. USF will win this one.
This isn't like last week when you did, but I'm taking a look at this one here, and we go ahead and we see the key count for both teams and when they have won and so forth. And for those who are kind of coming in late on this rivalry, they started it up again in earnest, really, for the Key to the City in 2012 when USF came to the Northern Sun from the NAIA, and USF had won quite a bit and was kind of dominating the series before COVID. Ever since COVID, this is 2-2. USF won in 21 and 22, Augie in 23, very convincingly, and then in 24 last year. So I tell you right now, if Gunnar Hensley is playing this football game, it's hard not to go ahead and look at the Vikings and say, you know what, with the way that offense is cooking, that's going to be too much for USF to deal with. If Gunnar Hensley's not playing, I think that's a big ask for a backup to come on into this Key to the City game for someone's first start or whatever it may be. And with that, at home, I'm going to favor USF to win this game. I am so uncertain about this coming on in because of the injuries to, frankly, both teams, that I don't know exactly what I'm getting with either one of them coming into this game. But I'm going to take Sioux Falls, all things considered, and we'll see how things play out on Saturday, and see if Augie takes home the trophy for the third straight year, or if Coach Glow gets a chance to earn his first one.
1 o'clock kickoff. And lastly,
by the way, all games this week, I believe, are either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. They're all right in that immediate window this week, Tom. So there's not much. They're not very spread out. I'll put it that way. As Tom is looking for his
I had
schedule.
The schedule was here. I don't know what I did with it. I think they're all either noon or 1, Witt. I don't think there's anything after 1 o'clock.
Okay, then it must be noon and 1. Yeah, I know that they're all in that immediate game window where I'm not a huge fan of that. I kind of wish that we had those spread out a little bit more. And, man, I would love this game at night. Give me a 6 o'clock kickoff or at least a 4 o'clock. Not a huge fan of that early start when we're still this early in the year. But, hey, that's just me talking. And I don't care what else is scheduled on campus. That's football. So, Tom, I'll let you unpack. I'm done ranting.
Wayne State appears to have found a groove, but methinks there is a hiccup in the road to Winona. I'm going with the Warriors at home this week.
This was the hardest game of the whole bunch for me. I have seen Winona play well this year. I mean, heck, they played well in spurts against Augustana. They played better at home, no doubt about it. Wayne State is been playing some very good football lately, so I'm kind of torn by that. They had a different quarterback going this last week, so I'm not totally sure what my thoughts are about that situation. All of that said, I'm going to take Wayne State here in this one. Wayne State, keep in mind, guys, I'm sticking my neck out for you guys on the road I'm down games. I'm chasing Tom right now. Gonna need for Coach Masters. I'm gonna need for you guys to come through here for me in this spot. I'm just putting that there.
You see, I don't ever whine. I don't beg. I don't plead. I don't pander to the coaches.
They need to know. They need to know
what's
what's important.
okay. All right. We differ on 2. We'll see next week if the lead expands or if it shrinks, or maybe we'll.
What was the other one? Mary Jamestown.
Mary Jamestown and Winona Wayne are our differing selections.
Okay, Shan, I'm going to be making a call out to you as well. Okay. Want to say thanks to the NSIC network for providing us any of the video coverage we've used for the show. In addition to that, Tom, if you don't already subscribe to our YouTube page, make sure you go there, subscribe, click the like button, all those things that the kids say on the YouTube machine, Tom. And make sure you don't miss any of our stuff. We have got a ton of content on there. If you haven't been on there in the Wayback Machine, there is a video that we have on our channel about the top 10 stadiums in Division 2. Our guy, Brandon Meisner, did that video during COVID. Our own Brandon Meisner did a tremendous job with it. I came across it the other day. It was before Northern Stadium. Northern State was a part of it. So Northern fans, you can get your pitchforks, but a video was made before that point. But very good video. So go out and find it. But make sure you subscribe here. And if you're not subscribing to our Twitter page, what's wrong with you? I don't know what to tell you on that. But always good information that we're going to have in both spots, trying to help you out with all of that. But Tom, before we go ahead and let our people go, we have got the thing that everyone always tunes in for. Look at Chris Bodsford here. Thinks that the show's over with. Chris, it's been great. We'll see you later. We're not done yet, though. Chris, this is what everyone tunes in for, which, Tom, have you studied up? Make sure you pull up the webpage on the other side so you've got all the stats in front of you so you can try and cheat like your boy Papist did.
I'm looking at the
Jeff, I'm calling you out, by the way.
I'm looking at the comments here.
Oh, okay. Tom has access to the comments, so it's like a new world for him, for everyone tuning on in. Let's go ahead, Tom.
I like the one, lots of mines around Witt's lawn. That's a good one.
Was that Tony saying that?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Sounds like something Tony would say. Okay, Tom. Off your pewter. No cheating like normal.
All right. I'm taking, okay, hands off.
Who is the top? What team is the top rushing defense in the Northern Sun?
Playing in the background.
Yes.
With, Wayne State.
You know what? We don't have the buzzer anymore. They got rid of my buzzer to do that.
Hi-oh! Right, though.
That was actually, I just refound it. I forgot I mislabeled it. It's Ed McMahon. Okay, so Tom starts off good. Got the first one right. Since we talked about special teams earlier, let's go there.
You know how I figured out Wayne State? Based on what they did against Southwest last weekend, they had to bump them up a lot.
Yes, nothing like Southwest catching strays late in the show. Who's the top punter? Well, wait a second. You're always giving me a hard time about me not being a special teams guy. Then I go ahead and I shine the light on special teams twice in one show. And you're going to give me a hard time.
You did do that. We got to give you credit where credit is due.
You could even go team, and I'll give you half credit.
You give me the team, and maybe I can get the guy's name.
Well, who said I'm going to do that? But
it's not Drew Henson. I know that. It's not Scott Dixon. It's not. It's not Harris Nichols.
Jake Pacina
Oh, from Augie. Okay.
from Augustana, 44.5 a game.
Number 25. Yeah, he also kicks for him.
Oh, there you see. There you go. That's a pretty darn good number, by the way.
Mm-hmm, it is.
Last question. We'll see if you win this week or if you lose. It's all
Okay.
on this.
All right.
What running back? I'm giving you that already. What running back is leading the conference in rushing yards? I can tell there's going to be some thinking needed.
Well, I'm going to go with Dawson Forgy, Wayne State.
Hi-oh!
Hey, sweet.
Bloody hell. I didn't even get a chance to use this. Okay. I missed that on the punter piece, but well, Tom, you got 2 right out of 3 right there. I normally don't anticipate that you're going to do that well. So, for those tuning on in, we will make sure we always have that segment at the end. You know what? We may have to start up now that the month of September's over, Tom. We may have to start doing the visual Jeopardy where we go ahead and bring pictures of players from the stars from the past in the league and see how many you can get wrong. I mean, get right.
Don't forget, earlier in the show, I also got Northern correctly being the top offense in the conference.
By the way, Dan Brookins guessed Sam Backer on that last one. Dan, your head is so big in that shot right there. I'm uncomfortable showing that. But and our guy Andrew Thurston, first season as punter in his life.
Jake Piscina.
Andrew does a tremendous job over at Augustana with keeping on up with all of their stuff. He's the SID over there at Augie, and video, all their socials and all that stuff. Does a really, really nice job. And by the way, Dan threw this on out there if you missed this.
We also should give a tip of the hat to Andrew Thurston's former boss. He learned at the knee of Kelly Loft at Southwest Minnesota State.
Yes. He is a good friend of the show. When before we go, when do you head on out? You head over to Marshall again this year?
Week from Saturday, the 11th of October.
There you go. Get a chance to renew your perch there at Marshall. So
on the goal line. Looking forward to it.
Well, by the way, Andrew, one last thing. He did throw this out there earlier. I'm not sure if you saw that. So
let's see.
Did you already ping him looking for those or not?
Hey, the email's here. It's here.
Good man.
I
tell you, he's on top of things. Well, let's we are just over an hour, my friend, which just means that we need to finish on up. So appreciate everyone for tuning in once again. Go to a football game this weekend, and we will go ahead and see you a week from today.